Hello there, welcome in. I hope you had a good holiday weekend. Last week I posted a picture on Instagram. I was just sitting around my house waiting for my daughter to come in for the weekend. We were going to go out and hike and then have a little bite to eat. So many of you commented on that picture asking what lipstick I was wearing, what makeup I was wearing. So I thought it would be fun today to just put together a casual makeup look. If you're new here, welcome in. I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. I hope you'll consider subscribing while you're here and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information just waiting for you there. Often my social activities with my girlfriends during the week is something like a hike or a walk, and then we go out for lunch. So I have to do my makeup in a way that's going to work for being out in the elements and then going out to lunch. I've kind of come up with a little recipe not only for what I wear, but for what I put on my face. As always, all products that I use and mention today will be listed and linked below, so super easy for you to find. And with that, let's hop into it. As I mentioned, I often do a hike and lunch in the same day, and that's sort of my social life. So I like to put together an outfit that I can hike in and that I can go out to lunch and still look nice. What I really settled on are these pair of joggers, and I have them in a couple of colors. I have 2 pair of black and 1 pair of camo. The cool thing about these joggers is that they're super comfortable, and you can put your phone in the pocket because it's plenty roomy. In addition, they look very, very nice. So I'll wear these joggers and a sweater or something like the top I have on now, and that works for hiking or going for a long walk and for out to lunch. What I do is I keep my hiking shoes in my car. I just don't wear my hiking shoes when I'm driving to and from. They're just too clunky and too big. So I always keep both my boots and my hiking shoes, both are Merrell's, in the back of my car. So with the outfit with my joggers, I generally wear little booties, and I just slip those off, put on my hiking shoes, go out for the hike, and then put my booties back on, and then I'm set for lunch. Today for primer, I'm going to be using the Prime and Fine from Catrice. This is the Fresh It Up formula. I've really been loving this lately. It's so very hydrating on the skin. A little bit on the back of my hand, and then that gets smoothed over my face. This feels so good going on. It just feels very hydrating and cooling almost. It just is lovely. For eyeshadow primer, I'm using Beauty Pie. This is their Flawless Eyeshadow Primer. A couple of dots on both lids and tap that in. And while that eyeshadow primer is drying down, I'm going to go ahead and do my brows. This is in the color Blonde. And of course, I always just start at the bottom and work up from there. When I'm doing outdoor makeup, I generally don't do a full brow like I do when I'm doing fancy makeup. In other words, I just fill in the existing hairs. I don't really pull out a tail. Then I'm just going to take that little powder applicator and fill in a few of the empty spaces. You can see that my brow is much longer and much fuller on this side than it is on this side. I don't know why. I have been using my eyelash growth serum on the ends of my brows. I'm hoping it's going to fill them out a little bit more towards the outside edges. I wanted to show you guys the lip gloss that I keep in my purse. This is what I use when I just want some nice color on my lips. I'll often put this on my lips after I've had lunch because my lipstick generally gets taken off before I eat my lunch. For some reason, I don't like to eat with lipstick on my lips. Then I'll just put this on to have a little bit of color on my lips after the meal. This is from Milani, and it's the Soft Rose in their Plumping lip gloss. I'll have it listed down below. When I'm going to be outside doing some hiking or walking, I like to use a foundation that has a little higher SPF. This is the number 7 Protect and Perfect Advanced All-in-One Foundation. It's an SPF 50. I use this quite a bit when I'm going to be outside for an extended period of time. Let's start with about that much on the back of my hand. This is in the color Calico. I really do like this foundation very much. It's comfortable to wear, and with that SPF, I like that additional protection. So I'm just going to smooth that over the skin. This is a nice medium coverage foundation. I like it because it looks fairly natural on the skin. Sunlight can really point out the imperfections in your makeup, and I like the fact that this gives a fairly natural look. Now I'm just going to press that in. The reason I always use a sponge when I'm finishing up my foundation application is that it just gives the most beautiful texture and finish to the skin. And you can see how natural that looks on the skin. This is not a full coverage foundation, it's really medium, but the look of it is just so very pretty. To prep my under eyes, I'm going to use the Beauty Pie Under Eye Genius. Still in love with this formula. For concealer today, I'm using the Dior Forever Skin Correct. Still loving this. This is such a great formula. Just a couple of dots underneath my eyes. This is my BK Beauty 205 brush. With that concealer, the magic happens with my sponge. So I'm just going to finish blending it in. It just gives such a beautiful finish to my under eyes. The palette I've been using for my easy makeup looks lately is the Star Aura palette from Charlotte Tilbury. And I know that seems kind of funny to use a high-end palette on my hiking days, but there's something about this formula that is so beautiful because it's so very sheer and subtle, and yet it really puts a beautiful look on the lids. I picked this up in the Sephora sale. I'm pretty sure there's been so many sales lately I can hardly remember, and I've really been loving it. There's something about the formula in this palette that is so very interesting because the colors are just so beautiful, but they're so very sheer at the same time. It almost is just this beautiful, sheer, glowy finish on the eyelids. I've really been enjoying it. The color I've been using lately is right up here in the upper corner, and I'm just going to get some on a big fluffy brush. This is the 503 from the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy collection. And that's just going to go over the entire lid, almost up to the eyebrow. This is the easiest eye look, and it is so very pretty. I'm using this big fluffy brush because it really puts a lot of product on the lids. Really easy to work it from my movable lid on up towards my brow. And then it blends in so very nicely. Then I'm just going to make sure that's really a soft transition up into my brow area. And there we have it, a super easy, really pretty one and done eye look. And I'm just going to take my sponge and press that in next to my eyes to make sure that that shadow has a really soft edge. For bronzer, I'm going to be using my beloved Milani Silky Matte Bronzer. This is in the color Sunkissed. I just love this bronzer. I used it almost exclusively a while back, put it away, got involved with some other bronzers, came back to this one. I'm really, really loving it. The other thing that I love with my bronzer is this pointed brush from e.l.f. This is the handiest little brush because you can get a very detailed application and then use the larger area of the brush to really blend it in. I was actually on the e.l.f. website last night looking around, and they have this brush. If you don't have a brush like this, you might want to take a look at it. It's very affordable. I think it's under $10, and it's so very handy. I've had mine, gosh, for over a year and a half now, and it's still just going strong. So I'm just going to get some product on my brush, tap it off, and then that just gets in all the areas that I want to warm up. And you can see already just what a beautiful glow that puts on the skin. So pretty. Now I'm going to take a big fluffy brush and just blend that in, particularly around the edges, to make sure that I have a smooth transition around my face. For blush, I'm going to be using the Patrick Ta in the color She's So LA. This is the prettiest color. It gives such a natural glow to the skin. It is just beautiful, really subtle, but really rich and deep. It's just gorgeous. These particular Patrick Ta palettes come with two formulas, a powder down here, and then there's a little plastic covering on top of the cream color here. It's interesting. You would think that you would put the cream color down first and then pat the powder on top. That's not how it works. He suggests that you put the powder on first and then tap the cream over that. The cool thing about this palette is you can use one or the other or both. So you have a lot of flexibility in looks from this palette. I'm going to take my IT Cosmetics brush, tap it into the powder formula, tap that off, and just put that on the high points of my cheeks. And look at that color. Oh, isn't that just gorgeous? Oh, I just love it. Really gives a sun-drenched look to your face, warms things up, beautifully rich and deep. So I'm going to take a big fluffy brush and just blend that in. And look at how well it tones with that bronzer. Isn't that just so pretty? You could definitely leave it right there because this is just such a pretty look. I'm going to go ahead and tap in some of the cream formula on this just to show you how it looks. So I have just a little bit on my fingers here and just tap that on. And you can see how that just deepens that color up and just gives an even richer look to that tone. Patrick Ta has a blush palette out now. It's a limited edition. It comes with 6 blushes, and I believe it's like this. There's a powder blush and then a cream blush. I'm really thinking about getting it. I'm just curious to try other colors in this formula because I love this one so much. This is the only colorway in this blush line that I have from Patrick Ta, and I'm really curious about that palette. Now I'm just going to take my sponge and press that in around the edges just so that everything is blended in really well. For this casual look, I really don't think you need highlighter, but I can't resist. I just love that part. I'm going to be using the Sungasm highlighter from Catrice. I love this. Look at this pan size. It's huge. So just a little bit on my brush, and I'm just going to hit the tops of my cheeks and a little bit in the front. This is just such a glorious highlighter. And what you can do too is you can put just a little bit underneath your brows if you'd like. I'm going to go back in with that fluffy brush and just blend everything in. This is my Rephr eyelash curler. Still madly in love with this. I'll tell you what, this is so nice to not have my lashes be pinched. And look at the amount of curl I get. It's just fabulous. Today I'm going to tightline with the L'Oreal Lay Liner. This is in the color Denim Brown. I want to keep it fairly subtle today. So that's why I'm using a brown for tightlining. So I just get that right up into the base of my lashes to really fill in any spaces in between my lashes. For mascara, I'm going to go straight in with my Sky High Mascara from Maybelline. I'm not going to use primer because I want the makeup to look a little bit more subtle and a little bit more outdoorsy today. So just straight in with the Sky High Mascara. And you can see just going straight in with the mascara and not using a primer, it makes the lashes a lot lighter, a lot more fluttery, and softer. To finish off the complexion, just a light little dusting of the Milani Prep Set and Glow. This is sold out everywhere. I hope that they're not going to discontinue it. This is one of my favorite makeup products. Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. To set my brows down, I'm just going to use my e.l.f. brow gel. I love this stuff. It's so affordable. For lipstick, I'm using the LA Girl Lip Liner in the color Blushing. This is one of my favorite lip liners. The color is just so versatile. You can wear it with pinks, you can wear it with nudes. It's just glorious. And then from Maybelline, this is Daringly Nude. Here's the Blushing Lip Liner from LA Girl. So very pretty. And then this is Daringly Nude from Maybelline. So I'm just going to take my finger and just smudge that lip liner so it fills up most of the lip area. And here we have the lip color. And here we have the finished look. I have so much fun putting this look together because it just gives this warm, glowy, deep, rich look to your complexion. I'm really a fan. One of the standouts for me in this look is this Charlotte Tilbury little quad. You know, I had never tried a Charlotte Tilbury quad before this one, and to be honest with you, I'm still on the fence about whether they're worth it or not, but I can tell you this. I am so fascinated with this formula. It is truly kind of magical in a way, and it's one of the palettes that I just want to reach for day after day after day. So I think that tells me that it's probably worth it. This color right here, and they don't really have names, that I have on my lid, it is so very subtle and sparkly and beautiful and sheer. There's something truly magical about it. I have loved using it, and look at how it looks on the lids. It is just so sheer and glorious and just yummy. I'm really a fan. So here's the color on my lid right here, and here's the color right next to it. Sheer but just beautiful and glowy. Really loving this palette. I have picked up some more Charlotte Tilbury, and I have a couple more of these little quads coming in, so I'm anxious to see if I'm as enamored with the other quads as I am with this one. The Patrick Ta blush in She's So LA. I am such a fan of not only this formula, but this color. It is just stunningly beautiful. Gives such a natural look on the skin, but really rich, just a tiny little bit of shimmer. And the cream formula just adds an additional richness and depth. So very pretty. The Milani bronzer in the color Sunkissed. Beautiful formula, blends in really pretty, gives just the nicest natural glow to the skin. This is such a hit in my book. And the lip combination, the LA Girl lip liner in the color Blushing and the Daringly Nude in the Maybelline. I think it creates such a beautiful natural lip. I had a lot of fun putting together this casual look. I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 and over 60 woman, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information just waiting for you there. You guys know it just makes my day when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. Make it a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.